My video for September the 18th, 2019 is video number 3211, and the title is The Conditions of Unconditional Love. Here we go again. So-called spiritual people mouth the words unconditional love. That's the same as saying anything goes, and it doesn't matter. I'm sure I'm not the only one who pushed that concept. It sounds good, but only for those who are, as I was, not thinking things through. No one loves unconditionally except the insane. Supposedly, God is unconditionally loving if you listen to the rhetoric. That's as far as it goes, rhetoric. God visits the sins of the father. Read that. Punishes the children generation after the parents die. It's not even to the third and fourth generation as written in the Holy Bible. It's forever and ever, amen. Bullshit would be more appropriate. So why is this pushed on humanity in one form or another since antiquity? As I see it now, it's because all of our religions and philosophies were created by control freaks. Hear me. Once again, I am not saying there is no truth there. On the contrary, this bill of goods could not be sold to anyone without cunning deceptions. God so loved the world that he knowingly allowed fallen angels to deceive all of us, you and me too. Wake up. Learn to separate the wheat from the chaff. Here's the condition. If we keep doing what we've always done, we'll keep getting what we've always gotten. Frankly and personally, I am challenging all of the things that I believed most of my life, with the exception of there is a way out. The way out has nothing to do with what anybody else did or could do for us. It's something each of us has to do for ourselves. We have to love ourselves enough to tell ourselves the truth. We have to love ourselves enough to search out truth and, as I said in the blurb, separate the wheat from the chaff, because there has been a mixing in all religions with elements of truth. Love is an element of truth. We are supposed to love one another, and it would be good if we could do it unconditionally, but that's simply not where we are. And I suggest to you, it's not where God or Creator is either. God cannot love unconditionally, and obviously the God of the Bible, who punishes the children to the third and fourth generation, as is written in the Bible, isn't loving unconditionally either. Of course, some say the way out is to realize that all of this is just a drama being played out. None of it is real, because it's just an illusion. Well, it's the reality of this illusion that makes all the difference in our individual lives here and now. Forget the future, forget the past. Here and now, right now in this present time, right here in this present place, wherever we are, we have to learn to love one another. Not unconditionally, until we grow up enough to love ourselves unconditionally, which means to tell the truth about ourselves and to forgive ourselves, because we can't really forgive or love anyone else unconditionally if we don't start with ourselves. It is first an inside job. That's the truth. But it's not an either or proposition. It's not just an inside job. The whole thing is supposed to play out in experiential reality, not simply, well, we can meditate on it and say, Oh, I am perfect. I am wonderful. I am good. I am forgiven. I am blessed. I am rich. I am powerful. I am whatever. Fill in the blank. I am. Put whatever you want in there. We can sit and do that all day. But until we can bring it into actual practice and do that collectively, not just individually, but collectively as a race, then we can turn things around. Then we can reshape our experience as human beings who are elevated with our codons perhaps turned back on so that we have the gifts, talents, and abilities that were taken away from us who knows how many eons or generations ago. And we can become the kind of beings that are able to transcend this world and literally recreate this world. But we have to get past the religion. Remember, religion means to bind, and that's not a good thing, folks. We get bound to our ideologies, the bill of goods, the doctrines, the dogmas that we've been sold. We get bound to them and we defend them against each other, which is not unconditionally loving. I hate to break it to you. You know, and we aren't expected necessarily to be able to see everything that someone else is seeing because we're all at different stages in our development and in the unfolding to our own conscious awareness of what truth really is. And again, the bottom line truth, we have to get to the place where we are able to love unconditionally. But right now, that's not where we are. We have to stop doing what we've always done, which is believing things that somebody else told us, and realize that nobody can do anything for anybody else if they won't help themselves. There's a saying, a cliche, God helps those who help themselves. Well, forget the word God. Help comes to those that are willing to start at home and take within themselves responsibility. In other words, the ability to respond to new ideas. We don't get there with the snap of a finger. We don't get there overnight. I do believe there is an awakening happening. It's much slower than I would like to see it happen. And I want to live to actually participate in it. And someone said to me, perhaps facetiously, then expect to live at least 200 or more years because it's going to take that long. You know, I hope not. I expected it, as I've said so many times, by 2012. Well, obviously, Obama didn't bring it in. And I don't think Donald Trump is going to bring it in either. It's still the same old mentality. We are doing the same things we've always done. We're fighting wars. We're inflating the military and deflating humanity. We're trying to level the playing field. That is, the elite are trying to level the playing field so that everyone else is a peon and only the elite have any power or any true free will. The rest are just enslaved. We've all been enslaved all of our lives, whether we know it or not, but we just didn't know it because we've been paid, many of us, to believe that we are free. We've been paid to serve the system. The system is a system of enslavement. We need to recognize that. And we need to, again, love ourselves unconditionally enough to tell ourselves the truth. That's the unconditional love. And it is important. I'm not saying it's not important, but we have to recognize that this is a process. It's a destination that we're moving towards, and it has to be done step by step, day by day. And we have to turn ourselves over to letting go so that we can embrace new ideas and higher truths. Thank you for listening, and namaste.